Newsom has some new competition in his 2022 bid for re-election. State Senator Dahle announcing his run for governor. The Lassen County Republican slammed Governor Newsom in a speech today, calling him a dictator and a smooth-talking wine salesman. He also said California is overtaxed, overregulated, and underperforming in all sectors.
Violent crimes are on the rise.
Deadliest mass shooting in state capital history.
Car ran right into their building on Wednesday morning.
Some suspects, they've been released and then come back immediately right after they released.
The LAPD is reducing services and closing specialized units because of the city's defunding and budget cuts.
Anything you do in this town with reference to homeless is a political
David Nelson
risk.
was convicted on 17 counts of arson, but he qualified for early release.
Our approach is to be neither indifferent nor revert to the heavy-handed policies of the past. We're also investing hundreds of millions in new programs. That is the California way.
Good boy.
I believe that homelessness and crime, mental health, and addiction issues are all lumped together. You can't just focus on one. You can't just say, hey, we're going to give homeless people a place to live. You have to deal with the mental health part of it. You have to deal with the addiction part of it. And quite frankly, you got to deal with the crime part of it, because we let all these folks out of jail and they're on our streets. The biggest thing is that there's no penalty for being a criminal. If you're already a criminal and you haven't been rehabilitated and they let you out, and then we've lessened the penalty for crime, and that's the way they make their living, is stealing stuff from other people. And so I think Californians are starting to pay attention to what's happening because of the cost of living, and they don't feel safe. I think the biggest failure with one-party rule is that they just throw money at it and then take a victory lap. They've taxed the citizens and spent the money, and we don't have any results for it. That's what's frustrating for Californians. They're paying the highest and getting the least in return.
Union Pacific Police are working together this weekend to stop train package thefts. Today, officers took 2 people into custody along the tracks, but one was cited and released at the scene.
I see what everybody's seen and asking myself, what the hell is going on? I mean, look like a third world country, these images.
We're here in Los Angeles campaigning, taking a closer look at some of the issues like crime, homelessness, and one of the huge things that's happening is they're robbing trains, which is affecting all of Californians. There's a local resident, his name is Hector. We're going to get his take on the situation.
Welcome to Los Angeles. So we're here at Lincoln Heights, and this is kind of where you had the train robbery, the great train theft. And so as you can see, they ended up improvising by putting some chains here to prevent people.
This is where they were just getting all the people's Christmas gifts?
Walking in, yeah, they ended up cleaning this place. The governor came out here, did his whole press conference, cleaning stuff up, but you can still kind of see the remnants of down here. But as you can see, the train back here ends up slowing down, and this is kind of where they just kind of broke into it.
And they're just pillaging through it.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. It's, you know, what we've got now is, you know, with the laws is it makes it difficult to even prosecute because no one wants to prosecute. Yeah, and that's a travesty. It's happening not just with this particular incident, but also, you know, in the community itself. You know, the way they've changed the laws, and you've got prosecutors that don't want to prosecute. You know, now you've got, you know, where you really have the criminals have more rights than the victims, and we see it with what's happened here, but we see it in a lot of other parts and around this. Really, it's a beautiful city, but what's happened to it with not enforcing the laws, it makes it difficult for folks.
Well, and we're seeing it not just here in Los Angeles, but we're seeing it in Sacramento and San Francisco and in the Valley. I mean, we're seeing it all throughout California, quite frankly. Yeah. Hey, man, thanks for coming out.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Deke, well, you don't know. You have no idea. Come here, you goob. I'm not down there, you know, like, and people see like different sides. Like Mom, for sure, because like she's down with him when he's a politician full time, and then she's also up here with him when he's a farmer full time. But I only see him when he's a farmer. I mean, the man never stops working, and that's what I like. I respect more than anything is no one can outwork him. I haven't met one person yet that works 18-hour days nonstop, doesn't even think about doing anything else. And that's the shoes I'm filling, right? So it's like, when you look at that, and I know like right now there's no way I could do what he does. Just solving the world's problems. Or trying. It's crazy. It baffles me every time I talk about it. I mean, the way he's treated my mom, the way he's worked, the way he's, I mean, lived an honest life. I mean, he takes his name very seriously. That's what he has built his life on, is having a good name that people can trust. When they think of you, they think of someone they can trust, someone they can count on whenever they need them. I mean, talk about a man that's perfect for governor.
Hello, Lou and Lauren. Sacramento police have announced the first arrest in the deadliest mass shooting in state capital history. Chaos, violence, and terror as at least 2 gunmen opened fire into a crowd as bar patrons spilled into the streets of Sacramento's entertainment district early Sunday.
Not far from this growing memorial along 10th Street, you can still see some bullet holes, like in this pool right here. Here's one. Here's another one right here, and then look at this one right here. You can see, and this one pierced it and went all the way through this metal pole here. There, you can see a car stopped, and people get out and open fire on something behind them.
Hey.
Hey, Dad, what's going on?
Hang on a second. Let me go in the other room. What's happening?
Oh, not much. I was just calling to let you know I got oil changes done in Big Blue. And
Okay.
we're working on the transmission fluid, so hopefully I'll be done by tomorrow.
Okay, great. What's the weather doing?
It's overcast. Looks like it's trying to snow, but it's not really doing much.
All right. Well, we got the video crew down here, and I was just going over some of the stuff that's happening with crime and stuff down here.
Okay, nice. What else you guys going on?
Well, I was just watching some of the video on this shooting they had down here.
The one in Sac?
Yeah, where the 6 people
nice.
died.
Right. How are you guys feeling? How's Roz?
Well, it's like 6 people died. It's like crazy stuff happening down here right now. So we're just trying to keep her, you know, feeling comfortable about it, you know, that's like, you know, that she's safe and that, you know, but it's a crazy world we live in right now. And so, you know, obviously if you're 12 years old and having to deal with like what she's seeing it you know, on our streets and at school. So we're just trying to keep her like kind of isolated from it, you know, and, you know, just like talk to her about how, you know, difficult it is right now with, you know, criminals out on our streets.
Right. Well, it's not crazy. I mean, this world has changed just in my lifetime.
I know, we don't even think about this kind of stuff.
Right.
So anyway, we're doing good. I mean, Mom and I, you know, obviously we're, you know, and Reagan's here, so it's good. But just, you know, I know that you didn't have to deal with this kind of stuff at 12. Anyway, we're doing good. I'm glad you're getting stuff done back there, and the fields are looking good, and you know, just need some rain, huh?
Yeah, hopefully. It's still snowing, but we'll try.
All right, well, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for calling.
All right. Love you guys.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.
So I talked to Chase today.
I talked to him too.
Well,
It's snowing.
It's snowing.
Mm-hmm.
And when he's like, Dad, what's going on down in Sacramento? They're like shooting.
I know,
and
he
stuff.
had just heard about it. And
Just basically told him that, you know, I feel safe. You know, it's where we're at in our little part of the Sacramento, but, you know, things are changing down here, and there's a lot of criminals out on the street.
But we have crime in rural California too. I mean, we had the theft from our own house, you know, from our own property. And we hear all the time about people, you know, stealing fuel.
I know, but you don't hear 6 people
died
and
but
100 rounds. He knows.
No, yeah,
that's a
course.
lot of rounds.
Yes, of course.
And, you know, fully automatic guns, like he's worried about us.
Yeah, I know. And the text messages instantly start like, where are you? Where are you?
And here, first thing, Darrell Steinberg, the mayor of Sacramento, comes out and is like, it's guns. And then Newsom, who is on vacation under a state of emergency, we're supposed to be in a state of emergency, but he's taking a 2-week vacation as we're having a war on our streets in Sacramento, and he tweets out gun violence.
On Monday, we have a moment of silence on the floor, and the first thing we go to is we need stricter gun legislation. It was unacceptable the amount of rounds that went off in a short period of time. But we're under investigation. There's still an ongoing investigation, and at that point they hadn't even arrested anyone, right? So fast forward to Thursday, we're back in session. By Thursday, we know that they were repeat felons, that they were released early, that they had illegal firearms, and then it's crickets. There's no more conversation about, because why? Because they should never have had the guns. Why are we going after legal people who have legal firearms? There's no way to avoid what the facts are. The facts are criminals are on the streets early and they have illegal firearms.
But it's Newsom's parole board that he appoints
that allowed
them to get out when the DA said these people are going to
they're going to repeat again,
and they did.
Yep.
And they killed 6 people.
Yep. Innocent
people. The point is they should still be in jail or prison because they committed crimes and they were violent criminals.
Yes.
And
so you go back to what Prop 47 did, which was made violent crimes non-violent. And
right.
Newsom was the only one that was in support of Prop 47.
Statewide officer.
Yeah. And how's it worked out?
It's crazy. Thank you for just coming out and sharing with the public the hell you've had to go through. But today is a day that Californians need to pay attention to what happens in this building,
Because as Senator Grove said, we have crazy laws that don't make any sense. Human trafficking is real in California, and we need to get this bill out of this committee today, and it needs to be signed into law eventually through this year's process. So I stand with you all, and if there's anything I can personally do to help this move forward, I will. Thank you.
I was a victim. Now I'm a survivor. But I didn't get justice. Today is about getting justice for victims now.
The people of California no longer feel safe. And the administration just keeps doubling down on their policies. Crime, cost of living, I think Californians have had enough. They're tired of feeling unsafe, tired of crazy. It's clear that power brokers and special interests are in control. Sacramento puts the rights of criminals before victims. People are leaving California in droves. I believe it's time for change, and the people have never been so ready for it. Something has to happen this election cycle, right now. The future is at risk for California.